If you are to buy this in the market, you share money. You've made it yourself now in the house. Everything here healthy. Okay? Don't bring it close.
I can't forget the day we met, your eyes.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Zesta Herbal Soap, Skincare and Lifestyle. Today we'll be making a very nice product. We'll be converting our normal powder into a whitening powder. We'll be adding a lot of beautiful organic powders and essential oils to it to improve it, not only to clear pimples, acne and wrinkles, but also to improve our complexion, making us look smoother and more beautiful. So please watch this video to the end so that you'll be able to get every goodie I have today for you. Thank you. These are the powders I'll be using. My allantoin powder, my snow white powder, my giga white powder, my alpha arbutin, and my licorice powder. Okay? And for all of them I'll be using 2% of my total recipe, of my total powder sample. My total powder is 28 grams. 2% is 5.6. Okay? In your clean bowl, measure out your distilled water. I use 3 grams. This 3 grams of distilled water. You can see it's very small. Okay, now to these 3 grams, I'll be adding minute amount of my ingredients in 2%. That is 0.5 grams of my, I'm starting with my giga white powder. All these powders have their usage rate, so don't go beyond the usage rate. For example, for giga white powder is between 3 to 5% usage. You want to take it to the nearest whole number, no problem. The closest number to it is 0.6 grams. In case with your scale, it might be difficult for you to measure 0.56 grams. You can measure 0.6 grams because the percentage usage for them is actually even more than 2%. But I decided to just use 2% for all of them. So I'll put in my giga white powder. I'll be putting in my snow white powder now. Please use organic snow white, not Tower's snow white. Tower's snow white is just alone powder. But the real organic snow white is very good. It makes the skin translucent, clears pigments and blemishes on the face. That is the one I advise you to use. That is what I'm using here. That's my snow white in. The next powder I'll be putting in is my licorice powder. The same 0.56 grams or 0.6 grams, anyone. So I'll put in my licorice powder and I've mixed it in. As you can see, they are all getting mixed up. You can see none of them is remaining. I'm using water-soluble powders. All of them are water-soluble, and I'm using them at 2% of my total powder. The next one I'll be putting is my alpha arbutin, and I'll be putting 0.6 grams also. They are mixing up. You can see they are dissolving. You can see they are just some little sediments because it has become super saturated by now, but they will eventually dissolve. Okay, they will eventually dissolve. So I'm mixing it so that to dissolve before I add any other thing. Mixing. You don't really need to use warm water, but if you want, you can use warm water, but I'll not be using warm water because as I can see, they are dissolving. Remember, I used 3 grams of my distilled water, and these powders, these my water soluble powders, I'm putting them at 0.6 grams each. So it has completely dissolved, you can see. So now I'll be putting in my allantoin powder. Allantoin powder is good for moisturizing the skin. It is a good anti-wrinkle. It clears blemishes and scars. So especially for people that have pimple scars, it will clear them away. Collagen powder is not water soluble. If not, I've added collagen too, but it is not water soluble. So I'll stir in. So the allantoin powder is actually a powder. It is actually a powder, so it will not dissolve completely and become clear. But my other organic powders dissolved and they became clear, and that's okay for me. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my zinc oxide. So this is my zinc. You'll be wondering why I have so much zinc oxide. I have small kids. I know this zinc is very good in clearing blemishes, so I use it in my soaps, I use it in my creams, and now I'll be using it in my face powder also. And you know it also acts as a sunscreen, so it will act as a sunscreen also in my powder, even though the powder contains zinc, but I want to add extra zinc to it because I added extra ingredients. So what does that mean? I've already added to the total volume of the powder, is it not so? So I'll be adding my zinc powder. The zinc powder I'll be adding to my dry powder. So I've added in 2 grams of my zinc powder. Okay, so now another ingredient that will be good to add in this powder is kaolin clay, because of its absorptive properties. But already this powder has kaolin in it. This powder that I bought, it the way I bought it already made, it has kaolin in it, and I don't want to be adding kaolin because I've already added zinc oxide. Okay, so now the next thing I'll be doing is to pour in my dissolved powders inside. So I'm mixing them in. I don't know. The next thing I'll be doing is to add my essential oil. I'll be adding my lemon essential oil. Most of you know that have been watching my videos knows that I've been economizing this essential oil. It's very good, and it is the original type. It's not this type that this one is original good essential oil. Okay, so I use it mostly on things concerning the face. I'll be putting in 10 drops of my essential oil. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 drops of my essential oil. I'll mix it in. So what I'll do now is I'm going to allow it. I'll keep it here for about 4 hours or so that the water I added inside to dissolve my powders will evaporate. After it evaporates out, I will now package it as loose powder to use on my face. I'll be doing that in this container. You can see it's empty and it's clean. So this way I'll package it. So guys, this is after 4 hours and my powder has dried. I just finished making a video on how to make a herbal body powder that will cure pimples, rashes and eczemas and all that while I was waiting for this to dry. So please, you can check it up and watch it. It is a very good mix, a very rich mix. You can use it for everybody in the house, and it has a sunscreen also in it. Please do try and watch it up. So now my powder has dried and it is loose. I'm making video. Keep quiet, please. So I'm going to pour it into this container and use it as a loose powder. Okay. So this is my ordinary powder that I've turned into a whitening, anti-wrinkle, healing powder. Okay. If you are to buy this in the market, you share money. You have to get, they'll tell you that it has this one, it has that one, this one is different too, is heavy, or is good, or is this, is that too. You've made it yourself now in the house. So all those whitening powders you buy in the market that has just 1 or 2 ingredients, they will tell you that this face powder is whitening. You've made it yourself, and your own has about 4 lighteners, 4 organic lighteners inside. Everything here healthy. Okay. And if you like, if you can watch my first video, you can still use the procedure I used for my first video to make your own face powder, your own face whitening powder from scratch, without you having to buy the commercial one, if that is what you wish. Okay. But me, for my face whitening face powder, I prefer to use the commercial one, buy the commercial one. Then for my body powder, I prefer to make myself. So you can see, let me bring it close. You can see. It is ready to use. Chicken now. Simple and easy. Isn't it so? If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Please watch my video to the end. Always watch my videos to the end. Thank you.